Okay, hey guys, it is Cece,
And this is Jay.
and this is Life After the L Word.
Yes, sir.
All right. Today is an important topic for us. We're going to be talking about race relations, and it's a conversation with three of our older children.
Yes.
During this climate, we just had to address this. It's a
Right.
very important subject matter for me and for my husband. And I think it is for a lot of Black families that this is a much needed conversation, and we decided to bring it live.
Absolutely. So this is definitely just talking about, like she said, like my wife said, with this climate, but it's conversations that we have. We want to know what they think, how they feel. We'll talk about how we feel, but it's a real, just from different generations' perspective.
Right. So what we're going to do is introduce you to, and then all of us will come back together and discuss this. Okay. So here is our
Let's
first,
go.
one of our first kids. Hold 1 second.
Golden child. Do.
This is Oren Malachi, the favorite son, aka the Golden Child. I am 21, 6'1", 160 for the beautiful lady, just in case y'all.
He is my child. That's what's up.
All right. Well, give us a second, baby. We'll get right back to you.
Okay.
Introduce yourself to us.
My name's Jada. I'm 18 and I go to Johnson C. Smith University.
Baby girl. Yes.
Hashtag HBCU.
You know how we
Okay.
do.
So I'm going to go ahead and put you in a slight hold. Okay, love?
Yes.
There we go. That's the other one. Part two. Let's
This is
go.
Introduce
Hassan.
yourself.
I'm 17. I'm a senior at Hillside, an aspiring business owner.
Woo! That's what that darn water do. Let's go. Mm.
All right, so now, audience, we're going to have everybody come back. All right, so first of all, I want to thank you guys, you favorite child, Dana and Rashan, for joining us in this very important conversation. I know you guys took the time
Mhm.
to come with us, so this is very important, and I really thank you. We really thank you.
Absolutely.
No, yes, definitely. So, the first thing, and I'm sorry, thank you so much, Jobel.
What you say? I didn't hear it.
Oh, okay, so let me put screens. So she said we have some beautiful children.
We absolutely do. And you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay. Anyway,
Thank you.
so the first thing I
It's
want to ask you guys um, is the first thing we'll do is address the boys, which is my husband,
Hmm.
Golden
Hmm.
Child, and Rastan, and ask them what it's like to be a black man in 2020, especially with everything that's happening.
Okay. Um, I think for me, it's just that like if we're talking about like how I feel about police or getting pulled over, I'm always tense just because you just never know how it's going down. I don't think it makes a difference to me the climate because that's how I feel. I'm surprised when I get a decent one or somebody that doesn't, go aggressive with me, look at my tats or anything like that. So I'm always on alert, just because of that's just what I've seen around. So I mean, I don't think nothing's changed for me. I think I'm probably more sad that the kids probably got to feel that now. But I think it's natural for like, when I was younger, we were taught to run from them. I didn't know why I was running from them. I just knew to run.
Right.
And so now, the older I got, I realized why I ran because they could do things, they can make things up or just anything. And of course, they're good and bad. But I'm just talking about my view and my perspective. So with this climate, it's just gotten harder because I just pay attention even more because you never know. The more pressure they feel is the more pressure they're gonna apply to us. That's how I feel.
Right. Um, Rastan?
um, I feel, what's scary to me is that this is like this time right now is like the safest time to be a black person. Because if if I was if I was still black in like the 1800s, I'm a slave. But here, this is still modern day slavery. So I feel like I'm still getting killed, but it's better. But it's not. It's better than being how it was in the past. But how it was in the past
Right.
it feels like the same as now. Like it feels like nothing's changed. So and then
Oh,
me being tall is kind of like it's like a masculinity thing.
hmm
Like if a cop sees me and now because they don't look at us like we humans. They look at us like we less than that. So I feel
hmm
like they have like the mindset of how dare this property be bigger than me. Or it's like a
hmm
masculinity and like a pride thing.
All right, Golden Child.
I feel what my dad and my brother both said, but to touch bases on my brother, like we can't really relate to what happened in the past, like slavery, but it's bad. I wouldn't say it's as worse as what it was back then because we not on change, but in the same way that how we not on change, we still on change in the same way. Like we don't have equal rights. Everybody say it's equal rights, but it's not. For a black man, you're not. And just like my brother and my dad is tall, I'm 6'1" and I got a lot of tattoos. So off the rip, like that's a fear for them, not even knowing who the person is. I was in the military, and now, like Ross said, we both trying to do business, but now like they don't know us, they just see us as black people. And so it is fearful because now I have a 3-year-old son, and when he get older, I got to teach my son how to talk to a police officer. That's a fear for me, not knowing if he gonna make it back home that night.
Yeah. So for me, I have a fear too. Like when it comes to any of you guys, especially the men, because you guys are so tall, and then Jay and Golden Child, both of you guys are tatted up, and and again, y'all are tall. So even when you're not threatening, you can be you can look threatening to whoever wants to be afraid, and that's always a fear of mine, especially with you, Golden Child, because you live in Oklahoma, and I know that's a whole different climate. Like, is it different there for you?
Yeah, it's very different. I like me and you had conversations where the job I was working at, I had to deal with racism every day. The way they
hmm
talked to me, they was older men, Caucasian men, like they was real disrespectful to me, just because of my skin color and my age. So yeah, it's real. It's a different feel out here. Then it's kind of scary because I'm by myself. I don't have no family out here.
Right. I can't even imagine what you go through on a daily basis. Um, so I have a fear just because I'm a mother and I'm a wife, and then with my other boys, I'm always afraid for you guys. So Jada, my question. I'm sorry. What? Girl? Okay, so Jada, my question to you is like, how do you feel with this Breonna Taylor situation, because she is a black woman and she's just one of many who have been killed during police brutality, and it's not a lot of people. Well, women are killed. I have always kept saying that black women are one of the most, or is the most unprotected beings in the world, and we don't get the same attention that black men get when they are killed. So, what do you think about that? Like, how do you feel as far as Breonna Taylor's murder still not being properly handled, even though her family did just win money? Her murderers are still free walking around. So, first question to you is like, how does that make you feel?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Go ahead,
You're
baby.
off mute, baby.
Okay. So, with that, I feel like money cannot. What's the word? Money cannot change the fact that she died for no reason. So, like, for the police to kill her based off their fault, I feel like it's just no reason they should still be walking. And as a black woman, that puts fear in me too, because they just went along with the murder like it was an everyday thing, which it is an everyday thing. So it's like nothing new to them. And then also, I feel like I'm also scared because all of y'all are black, like all of us black. So I have fear that my brothers or my dad or like Giovanni and them who are younger they're going to experience that because that always happens. And 96% of black men get shot and killed more than black women. So that's always been a fear to me. And then the fact that we still been Brianna been like got shot and stuff like that, and we're still protesting to get her murderers in jail, in prison.
Yeah, Caprice just said that yeah, we had to force Brianna to even be a trend. And again, that brings me back to like when we're murdered, when black women are murdered, it comes off as no big deal when we're at the forefront of every protest and in front of the scenes and behind the scenes when it comes to men being killed, and we just don't get that same energy. And it's it's very painful, like when you think about it. And I know for me, when I've had my interactions with police officers in the past, starting from the first time I was arrested, it's always been they were very aggressive with me. Even when I was the first time I arrested and I was a teenager, it was two of them that took me down. And I will never forget that. And even another time, I didn't even say anything to him. It was just the way that I was looking at him that made him upset. And I knew my rights. And I knew you weren't just going to enter my house without a warrant. And I was arrested for resisting an officer and several other things that really I hadn't done anything wrong. And it was just because I wouldn't give him what he wanted without the proper paperwork. And so it's hard to be a black woman in these days dealing with the cops, because at first it just seemed like it was just men being killed. But then when I look back from history and now, it's been women this whole time. It's just that we weren't acknowledged like our men are. And so that can be a lot to put on my plate. And then, I have a mouth. So then you gotta wait, and Jay, you do too. All of y'all do too, because y'all all got the same dad. So it's a lot when you have to like tone yourself down because you have a fear that they're gonna retaliate simply based on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna unmute you because I got y'all on mute with so much noise. Is there anything y'all want to say before I continue?
I have a question, an honest question.
Go
So
ahead.
it's about the Breonna Taylor situation. So
Okay.
do you feel like if the cops get arrested that killed her, that's equal? Like I believe in life for life. Like I believe in the death penalty. Do y'all believe in that?
Yeah, I believe in death penalty for sure, but I
Yeah.
just think they should be arrested. Like if they get in prison, the people gonna get them regardless. So I'm not even worried about
But
that.
you got to think about
But
that too, though. They caught at the end of the day when they do get arrested, they will be in protective custody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
After
I
that,
know
oh yeah.
that, but I'm just saying they're going either they're gonna complain about the jail, just like the guy who killed George Floyd. He was complaining about how it was in there, but he still got what he got. They didn't get it equally, but he's still getting what he's getting.
Right. I'm with you. For me, it's like I just want that same energy that y'all would give if it was reversed, and if it was somebody that was white and it was in the same scenario. I'm pretty sure y'all would ask for the death penalty. So I mean, this woman she was in her bed, sleep, and got murdered in her sleep. I can't think of anything more horrific. I
Right.
definitely believe that you need to go. I definitely. I'm sorry. I mean,
And
no, absolutely.
then the fact that they had a no knock warrant, body cams were off, and then the person that they were looking for was already in custody.
Right,
There's no
right.
excuse for
Right.
them to be free at all.
Yeah. I mean, to me, they've always gone too far. And what is happening now is that it's being recorded. I, for me, the saddest thing that I'm discovering, listening to all y'all talk, is that I had grandparents that talked to me in this kind of way, which I didn't really understand. Then I had my mom and dad talking to me in the same way. Now I grew up right when the '90s and hip hop and all of that stuff, so I didn't really believe like. But then there was moments where I started seeing that. I remember a cop getting upset with me just because I don't know, I was talking junk, but that was my right. And he slammed my shoulder against the thing. And my shoulder has never worked right. I remember I don't know if y'all remember when we were driving and I got pulled out of the car in the rain and it was all my children were watching them be aggressive with me.
Dad, you
And
Yeah.
no cop.
and see, realizing that I went through that, realizing that my son has a son now, and that we're still having this conversation is what we're trying to tell everybody. We tired of talking because we've been talking for generations, and so now we no longer talking. We're moving. And if y'all don't like BLM, if y'all don't get that, then it's not meant for you to get.
Yeah. Look, Capri said, let them suffer. And that goes back to what you said too, Golden Child, because recently two officers were shot. I forgot where, and it's a whole outrage. And I'm not for anybody just killing anybody, but what I want people to understand is that where's that outrage when they killing us? You know what I mean? There's really no reason other than they can. We don't get that same outrage, but when they're killed, it's a huge, 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 huge deal. I think at this point, black people are just tired that they're going to react one way or another.
See, go back and mute us. Okay.
You said mute you guys.
Mute him. I want to talk.
It's a lot of it's a lot of background noise. Like it sounds fuzzy.
Okay, so then, yes, please just let you guys. You guys, I'm gonna mute you guys to let you guys speak, okay? So I'm about to ask y'all a question anyway, so we can just go one at a time.
Oh
So
yeah,
then
that sounds good.
we'll start with you, Jay.
Okay. Goodbye, my children.
No,
Let me
no,
handle
they're
business.
all staying on the screen. I'm gonna mute everybody else. So my
Okay.
question to you guys is, what were you talking about cops growing up, and how do you feel about them now? So we're gonna start with you first, Jay.
Okay. Say it again.
So what were you taught about cops growing up, and how do you feel about them now?
Okay. So for me, I had the normal, like, as a kindergarten or whatever, where like this is who you call when something goes on, and this is who you 911. The police officer is to help you. I would say by the time once I started getting bigger, then I want to say my mom started saying like sit up straight. When cops would be driving or anything like that, is when she started, or I would have air guns and I'm doing all this to the cops. And my mom would, I remember now my mom saying, like, don't do that. Are you crazy? They'll shoot up this thing. They'll shoot up the whole thing. So that's what I learned from her, that she had a very uncomfortable uneasiness uh when it came to her two boys just being out there.
Okay, so how do you feel about them now?
Um, th- I feel the same. There's an uneasiness that,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, but I feel an uneasiness. Me and you have experienced good and bad cops, but that's not the issue. The issue that I have is that when I get pulled over, I just don't know what I'm going to receive, and so I'm not relaxed and I'm not comfortable, even if everything's fine with me. That is just something that I have with me, and if you are in the car, I'm uneasy too. You stand up for yourself. We both are outspoken. We both know our rights. And then I have typically our children are in there and they are outspoken. So um, with the temperature, I'm not happy. The reason why I'm not happy is that I've seen cops do things. Mhm. Okay, I've seen cops doing things and still not getting anything like real consequences. So I've now grown up seeing the news, seeing things happen, and nothing's really happened even on camera. I can go back to Rodney King. I remember Rodney King and all of that, knowing that they were on video camera and knowing to me in my heart that this was a closed case. I remember thinking about that in high school, and then to realize that those guys got off was I just didn't even know what to do. That's when I started really going like, you know what, it's anything and it's anything goes. And so I think that's how I feel. Like I'm a respectful person anyway. So I respect anybody. It doesn't matter that you got a uniform on. I just respect people, but you're not going to disrespect me. And I don't know what you're going to take with that because you have a lot of other tools that you can use.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, Golden Child, um, what?
What was the question? I told you my phone was
Okay,
tripping.
so the question is, how were you raised to feel about the cops, and how do you feel about them now?
I was raised to hate the police and run from them, even when you're not doing nothing, run. But now, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I hate all cops. I just don't like the stuff that certain cops do because you can't just blame it on everybody. That one cop, them couple cops that do what they do is not the same as every man or every woman on the force. So I mean, I feel like it's a couple good apples in that basket that just the rotten apples are just messing them up because
Right,
looking at it like it ain't no good cops, but that's false. You didn't saying it like you see some good cops doing good stuff. I mean, I done got pulled over a couple times, and there was some cops that just let me go, even though I knew I could have got in trouble. So like, I really just think it depends. It just varies. It just varies. Like that's all I think about it. Like I don't, you can't judge a book by its cover. That's how I feel like when it comes to now today.
right. All right, so I'm gonna go to Rasan. Rasan,
Uh,
how were you
yes.
raised to feel about cops, and how do you feel about them now?
Uh, I don't know how. Like, I can't say how I was raised, but I know like I had an indifference about it. Like, I was just neutral about cops since the beginning. But then as I got older, they kind of they kind of make me nervous. I'm uneasy when I'm around cops. But seeing what's based off seeing what's going on with everybody, because they'll kill a kid my age and just one bad eye continue with it. Like they sleep peacefully. So that bothers me. So I kind of feel uneasy when I see police officers. And what my brother said about you can't judge a book by its cover. I agree with that, but it's hard to not do that when you see what's all everything that's going on, especially being my skin tone.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. Thank you so much for answering that. Give me a moment. So I'm waiting for Jada to unmute her phone so I can ask her that same question. All right.
I can hear.
Okay. So go ahead and answer. How are you raised to feel about cops, and how do you feel about them now?
So, well, we were raised not to deal with the cops. Like when we see 12, we just don't mess. I try to keep my distance. I don't run because I don't want to make it obvious. But the anxious part in me be wanting to run, but I don't do it. So how I look at cops now, I feel like was right about not all cops are bad, but you work for a corrupt system, so that's going to make you bad regardless, because you know what goes on in like the police work. Like when you go into the field, you know what's going on. You're in there for like 6 to 9 months maybe, so you had a long enough time to know what was wrong and what was right, and plus you're grown, you know, from basic human rights. So I'm gonna say all cops bad regardless. I don't care if you let me go or not. I'm gonna just say you're just bad regardless, because you know what you're doing and you know it was wrong. And then like, you know how one cops kill somebody and then like they have other cops just looking at them and not telling them that's enough. I remember Dad telling us they just now making a law of making other cops stop them or something like that. He said something similar to that. I think that shouldn't have been a law. That should have been known automatically. That should have been your conscience telling you that enough is enough, because then that's going to be on your record, and then everybody is going to start riot, just like what happened to George Floyd. He sat there and done it, and cops were looking at him, and now they want to play innocent like they're not a part of it. You're a part of it whether you touch them or not. So I believe all cops are bad. You work for a corrupt system. You're grown. You know how to do it. You can't, just because you let somebody go does not mean that you're good. That's just my opinion though.
So I agree with what everybody said. I have a hard time. I mean, I have dealt with some good cops who probably should have given me a ticket or arrested me, and they just let me go. But for me, how I feel about it is when somebody says not all cops are bad, I don't support that, because I can't afford, black and brown people can't afford for all cops not to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have yet to hear somebody say, well, not all doctors are bad, not all school teachers are bad, because it doesn't equate. This is the job that you decided to do, and you're supposed to do it properly. And my life should not depend on, oh, is this a good cop or a bad cop? Am I going to die today, or is this cop going to let me live? It should always be, unless I'm an immediate threat to you, then I should live. And I thought that officers were trained to take down, not to kill out. And so I'm so confused about that. I tend not to call the police unless it's something really serious, because lately, especially lately, they are killing you without getting a full story, and you're the one who needs the help. And it's hard to not feel like I just don't trust them. Like, I always side eye them, and I always try to figure out how can I avoid them. Not even because, I'm sorry, it is because of fear, because I don't want to die and I don't want to have to go through it. And anytime somebody says, oh, you just document it and go to court, like you said, people are recording this. They're recording it, and the cops still get to walk. So why would I think that me recording it and taking it to court is going to make a difference? They are killing us. It's being recorded live, and still nothing is happening. So, and Capri just said that we need the police system, though. So how do we change the corruption? I don't even know how we can change it, Capri, at this point, because to me, that's part of systematic racism from the judge on down. That it's just doomed. I don't even know. It just needs to be revamped. And people, I think that co-workers need to be able to tell on each other without suffering consequences. Because normally, before a cop even kills one of us in a locker room, y'all heard the racist talk from them, and they should have been addressed right then and there. So again, we're gonna start with Jay. My question to you, love, is when you hear Black Lives Matter, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And what would you say to a friend or anyone else who can't understand it?
Well, I would say first and foremost, I've been out there to protest. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a person that's fair and honest, and I just have integrity. So when I hear Black Lives Matter, that's talking about my life, my children's lives, and anybody that looks like me. And I don't think that I'm doing something political. I don't think I'm doing something religious. If we want to look at history and look how history has treated us, and you wonder why we are screaming that Black Lives Matter, then you're looking at the history that you want to look at. So when I see BLM, I don't think of anything but what it needs to be, and that's us standing up for ourselves and saying out loud that our lives do matter, and um, we're tired of the narrative that we're criminal. We're tired of you were scared. We're tired of all of those things because those excuses are leaving my children paranoid. They're making me nervous, making my wife apprehensive. All these negative things that I know other races, especially the white race, doesn't experience. And so, what I would tell anybody is that look and ask me, or just look at what's really going on and see how there's no accountability, and if you don't understand it, then find somebody that can explain it to you. But to be honest, I don't even you're not really on my radar because we all got internet and Google. So if you really want to know what all of the things are, look at Breonna Taylor, look at George Floyd, look at Trayvon Martin, just look at the list, and we talk about this year. So y'all Google. So how I feel is that we got to stand up, and we're going to continue to do it. We're going to do it the right way, but we're going to keep fighting because this fight is definitely needed to be happen.
That's a good answer. So, favorite son, my question to you is the same thing. What's the first thing you think of when you hear Black Lives Matter, and what would you tell people who don't understand it?
Oh, the first thing I hear when Black Lives Matter, first to me, honestly, I'm just gonna be a butthole. I feel like all lives matter. That's just how I feel. I feel like all lives matter. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. Don't get me wrong. I love my black people. I am black, but it's just not it's just not black people that go through stuff like this. Right now, yeah, it is, but you gotta look at your Hispanics too, though. That's why I say that. I'm not saying say all lives matter. I'm not just be like old Caucasians, everybody, even though I got some cool Caucasians on me. I'm talking about Mexicans and black people. Because we are the one that go through the most. Just like if you look at Trump was building up the wall so Mexicans couldn't come over here no more. So I feel like it's just not a one-way type of thing, but right now it is a Black Lives Matter type of thing. Like it's nothing against nobody to be funny. It just let you know that we standing together. So I feel like I don't think nobody can feel no type of way about it because everything that we've been through. Now we are trying to unite. Hopefully it works. But I don't think it shouldn't take for people to keep getting killed for black people to stand together. And the reason I feel the way I feel because black men take other black men's lives every day, but you don't see no notice to it. But as soon as a white person, not even a cop, a white person that anybody else takes somebody's life, that's when everybody that's black want to stand together. So I don't really stand for that. I feel like we should stand together 24/7, 365 days a year. That's just me. That's my opinion. But I stand with Black Lives, though. That's all I can really say. I explain to everybody how I kick it. That's just how I feel.
All right. Well, I really appreciate your honesty. You're always honest, no matter what it is. So thank you so much, favorite son.
You're welcome.
So we're just waiting for Rasan to unmute himself. All right. So go ahead, Rod. Tell us the first thing you think of when you hear Black Lives Matter. And what would you say to someone who doesn't understand it?
The first thing I hear is resilience. You know, this isn't like this is a first time thing. This isn't like this is the first time happening. This is a recurring event. So like when I see my black people, you know, after even though we may fall, we get back up and we still together. I like that. So I choose resilience. How I would explain to a person that doesn't understand is because a lot of people tend to confuse it as we're just saying everybody else's lives is not important, which is obviously not the case. If that was the case, we wouldn't be dying. But we're saying that, you know, we should be treated like we're the same. We bleed the same color. Now what my brother said, he kind of had me in the first half, but then the way once he explained it, I was like, this kind of makes sense. A lot of people like when say a crime is committed from two people of the same race, in this example, black people, nobody speaks on it, but everybody like we kind of I won't say wait, but everybody just jumps on the white person when they do it, and I feel like which we 100% should, but I feel like if we gonna say something when they do it, we got to say something when we do it to ourselves.
All right. Thank you so much for your answer.
Can y'all hear me?
All right. Go ahead, Jada, because I know you're ready.
Okay, so when I hear Black Lives Matter, I hear no justice, no peace. And what was the second part of your question, Mom?
How would you explain it to someone who doesn't understand?
Okay, so because since All Lives Matter, saying all lives matter is belittling the fact that Black Lives Matter. For example, if one house is on fire and all the ones are fine, and somebody's trying to care to a house on fire, why would you sit there and say, what about my house when your house is perfectly fine? Why would you do that? So, and then when you're saying Hispanics and stuff, minorities' lives matter. When Black Lives Matter protest, we're not just protesting for us. I have seen a lot of protests when we have Hispanic, there's a Hispanic protest, there's people putting posters there. Then we're talking about Muslims because nobody talks about them being in Holocaust camps in China. The Chinese government is doing that. So I feel like we shouldn't belittle the fact that we're doing Black Lives Matter. All lives matter is just the same to belittle us when all we want is equality. And I feel like it's not hard. You had me when you said all lives matter, though. You had me in that part because I did not expect that. Yes, and then when you and Rasan said, Rasan said, what did y'all say about it doesn't matter until a police does it? Because that's your occupation. We did not choose to be Black. Y'all chose your job. So as the person who chooses their job, you should know how to handle your job. And yes, black on black crime is real, but crime is crime. No matter what race, crime is crime. We do it to each other. And there is, when y'all said we really don't speak about killing each other, yes, I agree in a way. But some people, it's kind of sound ghetto, but when you say if you're in a gang and stuff, you know what you sign yourself up for. So you have to be prepared for anything in general. And if it's like a regular robbery or something like that, that I definitely don't agree with. But I feel like y'all shouldn't belittle the fact that we are dying by using, but black people kill black people. That's not the case. That is the case. But I feel like we should not use that, because that's just ignoring the whole justice, us getting justice and getting equality. If the whole system, police system is corrupt, then how can y'all blame our skin color over an occupation that you chose, that you've been trained for? I didn't train to be black at all whatsoever.
Okay. All right. You done, Jada, for now?
Yes, I am done.
I got some. I want to.
So first of all, Jovel said we have some great debaters. Thank you so much, Joe. And she said Jada was ready to approach the bench. Okay, little CC. So I actually feel like when somebody says all lives matter, it is a slap in the face to us as Black people, because we didn't say all lives didn't matter. What we're saying is that our lives matter as well. It's already been proven that everybody else's life has mattered. I also don't believe in black on black crime. I believe in crime, period. And realistically, people commit crimes in the area in which they live. So white people in white communities commit crimes within their community, Hispanics and Asians and things like that. There's really no such thing as black on black crime. I think when people say that, it's just to take away from our argument, which is police brutality and people them not being held accountable. Also, let me say this: whenever we kill within our community, if that person is found, they are tried, they are convicted, and they get they go to jail or prison, what have you. That's not what happens when police officers kill us. They get to, first of all, they get to go on vacation, a paid vacation, really, and they get to keep walking around until whenever. It's very rare that they are charged by, like, we're still waiting on Breonna Taylor's killers to be found guilty. They're just now doing an indictment to see if it's even possible, and that makes me sad. So I don't subscribe to black on black crime, and I don't subscribe to all lives matter. I know that my life matters, my kids' life matters. I know everybody else's, but to be honest, I'm not gonna say I don't care about everybody else's. I care about Black lives more than I care about anybody else's. Like, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can go hard. That's probably where Jada gets it from. But that's just how I feel. I don't like that whole all lives matter. Yes, Black people do need to stop killing each other. I'll definitely say that. But we also need to stop making it seem like it's just us who do the killing. Because nobody says to these little white kids who go to malls and schools who are picked on and they shoot up the whole thing. Nobody says white lives matters then. It's or white on white crime. They only say it when it comes to us. And these mugs be killing kids and everything else. That's beyond me. But once again, Golden Child, you know we love hearing what you have to say. And so my next question is, tell me why you're proud to be Black. And of course, we're going to start with my honey.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, love.
Perfect. Good. So, why am I proud to be Black? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that I'm looking at right now. And I have a whole litter that I can look at. I'm proud to be Black. Yeah, I'm proud to be Black because I love our style. I love our strength. I think we're fearless at a very young age. Um, I think Black is beautiful. I think everything about us is that. And so I'm proud to be Black because I know what we have not only helped history, but we've enhanced it. And so I'm proud to be it because we have represented throughout history.
Yes, most definitely. Okay, Golden Child. Tell us why you are
And I'm
proud to
like
be
black.
black.
Man, I'm proud to be black because if I was white, I wouldn't be this fun. But
I can't
anyways,
stand this boy.
because for real though, black is beautiful. You know, black love everything. Anything a black person do, we just create. We instruments, we athletes, we natural entrepreneurs. I mean, I wish a lot of us would take more serious of what we gifted with. But I feel like black is great. Like everything about it is great. I love being a black man. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm looking for a black wife. Hey, I holler at me 470-222-0935.
Oh my God. I cannot stand you sometimes. Okay, well, thank you so much for that answer. Rashawn, go ahead and tell us why you're proud to be black.
I'm proud to be black because our culture, what we do, we're the natural trendsetters, but we do everybody else follow. We create majority of the stuff that we don't even get credit for, and I just love because I wouldn't change who I am. I love being black. I can't imagine being any other race. I love being me. We have our challenges, but I love the fact how we keep pushing it through, how we keep moving forward.
That's a good answer. Thank you, babe. All right, go ahead, Jada.
For me, being unapologetically black is because I'm proud of all the things, our culture, the first of all, we created everything, and that's why everybody is stealing it because now it's trendy. But we're not getting the credit for what we got. So I feel like I'm proud of being black because we created and people want to be us. If you want to be black, obviously we're doing something right. So that's why I like being black. I love me, and then I just love my culture regardless. And then the history behind of being black, besides all the horrendous stuff, being black is just one unique thing. And like learning all the stuff we created and learning what we made popular, it's just I love it in general. So that's why I like being black. And plus I like
Okay.
asking men.
Well, I love being black because I think we are a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful culture. I think we are strong and we resilient, and I think that we scream pride. Like from the from President Obama down to a janitor, whatever. Like I feel like we scream pride when we walk down the street. We demand respect, and I think that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love the intelligence of us, the beauty of us, the different shades of us. I just love being black. I'm super proud to be it. I've never wanted to be anything other than black, and I was raised to love the skin that I'm in. Even if I didn't always feel that way, I was raised to love the skin that I'm in. I love us from our broad noses to our full lips to the end of our toes. Like I just love everything about black people. Okay, babe. I just love everything about black people. I love all my kids. It's just we're just beautiful and we just come in so many different shades that I'm amazed of how wonderful we are. I just love being black. Like it's not enough things I can say about being black that I love. And I forgot I wanted to add to that Black Lives Matter thing. I I feel like I don't have a problem when somebody says that from another race, but I feel like your words have to match your actions. One of the things that bothers me is when I was driving down the street not too long ago. I think me and you talk about this all the time, Jay, because you always make fun of me and my dad. We talk about it, but when I see really nice houses in areas that are not the best communities, and they have a Black Lives Matter sign, but your gentrification is taken away from our lives. So how can you say that and you got this big old house in the midst of the hood that's about to be reconstructed to fit your needs? So that's what I wanted to say as far as the Black Lives Matter movement and how proud I am of all of us and being black and embracing it and loving who we are. So Capri said that she loves this discussion. Thank you so much,
What's
Capri.
up, Capri? Appreciate you, love. Appreciate the
Yes.
love. Oh,
And
before you say something, let me say this. I was just thinking about it when you just said this. The BLM is such an important and such a real thing that I don't have the patience or the tolerance for anybody that is not being real about this movement. You're doing harm to it if you're just doing it for likes. You're doing harm for it if you're not being real about it, because in real lives, in poverty places, and anywhere, things can change for us. So this is a serious matter, and we're taking it serious. So if you're doing this because you like how it looks or the T-shirt, or you like how it's whatever attention you're getting from it, this is something that's very serious, because this has been happening to us way too long. So I just wanted to say that.
I like that point. I remember when this protest first started. I forgot what state, love, but these officers approached the protesters and they kneeled with them, right? And then
Mhm.
what was it? A day or two later, the officer was like, "Yeah, I just really did it to keep the peace. I regret it." That's why I'm always funny or hesitant or side eye any person outside of the Black culture who says Black Lives Matter, because your words with Black Lives Matter more. I'm sorry, your actions with Black Lives Matter more than the words that you have.
Well, see, well, I'm different because I thought it was dope that they did it, and I think that more cops should do it. Now, that was a weak-minded cop, but if you're going to be in that uniform and you're going to represent us, then I think at this point you should be protesting and kneeling with us,
Yeah,
and
and
that's just how
I
I
agree.
feel.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was just really pointing out how he didn't even mean it. He came back and said, "I wish I wouldn't have done it." Okay,
Right,
I'm down for it. Like, if you can relate or if you feel what we're our pain, you should protest with us. So, yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
So it said before, I'm not gonna disconnect you. So just hold on for a moment, love.
All right, sounds good.
So everybody's on mute except for me. So right, hey beauty, look at Golden Child son. Dog. So before I end this, I'm gonna go one by one. We'll start from Golden Child to Jada to Rasan and see if they have any last words they want to share after this discussion. And then I'm going to remove you from the app. Okay. So we're going to start with you, Golden Child.
First off, I want to say this was a great discussion. Jada, I want you to know I'm gonna text you about some of your points that you said. But other than that, this was a beautiful discussion. I really appreciated the talk about racism. But I'm gonna leave you with this before Golden Child goes. I want everybody to think this is a trick question. I already know the answer to it. Can Black people be racist?
Oh, no.
I already know the answer, but I'm saying this not for y'all. This for the audience. Y'all should all know this. I didn't have talks with Dad, Mom, Rasan. I don't know if I talked to you about it, but I didn't have talks with everybody else. This is for the audience. I want just to see what they say. If you don't know the answer to that, you're not woke, and you need to stop claiming Black Lives Matter. But all right, I am gone. The Golden Child is out. Hey, I gave y'all my number, so don't forget to hit me up.
Oh my God! Bye, Golden Child. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So then we're gonna go to Jada. Will you unmute yourself?
All right. So all I want to say is you cannot support Black Lives Matter. Okay, so you can support it, but if you're another race saying the N-word, you cannot truly support Black Lives Matter. Like, that is just a non-factor. Saying I have Black friends that allow me to say it and I support Black Lives Matter just does not make sense to me. And I also want to, well, dang, left, but he gonna text me. But all I have to say is that this was a great discussion, and I'm glad I heard y'all different point of views. And we should do this again. I actually do like this, but we should do this again. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, babe. And I will see y'all after I will talk to you in a few minutes after the show. Okay. Bye. Okay, now we have the final one. Rasan, anything you want to leave with?
I just want to say Black Lives Matters. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. All lives can't matter until Black lives do. I want us to eventually, in our lifetime, be able to watch us, look each other in the eye as equals. That's it.
All right, thank you so much, Rasan, for taking the time out for us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, babes, me and you. So Jovel said, beautiful
Yes, ma'am.
family, Black children being raised from good stock. Thank you so much, Jovel. And thank you so much.
Appreciate it,
Yes,
Joe.
thank you so much for the earlier compliment to me. Thank you so much. I really
And me,
enjoyed this
you
one, love.
see where
What's going on, Jay? Okay, there you
yeah,
go.
it,
I really enjoyed
yeah, it was.
this episode.
I did too. I like hearing what they thought about it. It was because we have intelligent, very outspoken children. Some of it was disheartening to hear, their perspectives or what's happened to them. But I love that we had the discussion, and that they got to hear all our views, and I got to hear theirs. So this was hard. I mean, because this is real life for us. But I'm definitely glad we did it. Babe.
Yeah, I am too. It's a lot because it's a reminder that racism from hundreds of years ago is from our ancestors. Our kids are still dealing with, and those were some of our oldest ones. We still got a
Hmm.
3-year-old that we have to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's one of those things where we're realizing we've got our children and they're going to college and leaving high school and out and stuff like that, but we are still raising children. And so knowing that and knowing the possibilities or what things can go, it can be heartbreaking too.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
But I
happy
love it though.
I love this discussion. I love hearing our kids' point of view. And so we hope you guys enjoyed our conversation today. And respond whenever you would like. And you can also follow us on YouTube and Twitter and IG under the same name of Life After the L Word. Bye.